working on RVs. I ran into a little issue here. These fancy glass here in the corner. This piece is up like it's supposed to be, and this one was actually had dropped down and was lying on the counter. The glue came loose, and I found this piece of plywood behind it. It was screwed to the wall, and here's the trim that goes over the top of the whole thing. I don't know if the factory did this mess or the previous owner or what, but here's the glass. And normally I would expect to see a piece of or a mirror. The mirror has that backing on it, right, to make it reflective. And there's the backing, and then here's this layer of white adhesive strip. I'm trying to figure out if that is, because somebody came back in here with some sealant at some point and put the thing back on the wall. And the sealant, when you put sealant over something that's made out of rubber or vinyl, it'll make the rubber or vinyl pucker. So this mirror has a vinyl backing to it, right? And surely that's not supposed to be there. That's something. The factory, when they okay, so I think this is what I think. I think the factory just installed this incorrectly in 01 or whenever this thing was made, 99, 2000, 2001. Interestingly, I checked the VIN. This is supposed to be a 2001, but the VIN says it's a 99. So I'm guessing that Coachmen used, they bought up a whole bunch of chassis and they just kept using them for several years. So I was going to take all this mess off of here, but I'm just going to take this vinyl backing off and play it that way, and then try to get this thing reattached to the wall here. Not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet, because it's an odd situation where the microwave is here. You got to bend over and get way up underneath there, and this trim is actually screwed to the wall, and it has these lips over it. So it's like, well, chicken or the egg thing. How are you going to get the mirror in there and get the trim back on? So I don't know. I'll figure that out later. This whole thing just doesn't look right. All right, I'm using Goof-Off Pro Strength Remover. Stuff will cure a rainy day. So I started removing the adhesive from this vinyl backing. So in retrospect, I think the vinyl backing was left on here by the manufacturer so that you could put some adhesive on this glass and glue it to the wall. Otherwise, if you put the adhesive on the layer here that does the reflectivity, it would just come off and the mirror would look, have these big spots in it. That leaves the question of, what do I do here? So I suppose I could go back through here and take off all the adhesive in the spots where I can, and then it'll leave some holes here. And then when I want to stick this to the wall again, I would just simply put the adhesive in places where the vinyl was, and I would not put it here, for example. So anyway, I've got some of this Goof-Off in just a squirt bottle. It's an alcohol squirt bottle here, but I repurposed it. So leftovers from the fuel tank cleaning on the old Mercedes. So, all right, I'm gonna get this Goof-Off on here and clean off all this old sealant, and we'll be back shortly. All right, so yeah, where I stupidly cut this stuff off with a razor blade, I should have done that, but oh well, can't take it back now. The Goof-Off is getting everything off, by the way. The double-sided tape and what appears to be some just basic clear silicone. Even though it is buckling the vinyl a little bit, I'm going to leave it alone. So I'm going to finish getting off the rest of this silicone sealant. All right, well, there you have it. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but it'll work. So I've got these little areas here. This is just buckled or bubbled up vinyl backing on this glass, on this mirror. Not going to worry about it. Going to leave it alone. When we get ready to re-adhere this to the wall, we'll just put our sealant in different locations, and it'll be okay. All right, I decided to greatly simplify the mounting of the mirror. I'm going to dispense with the Luan plywood behind the glass, but I'm going to find some double-sided sticky tape here. There's Gorilla. It's heavy-duty, 30 pounds. Made in Korea. Oh, Korean folks are really nice. I buy Korean stuff. I got Korean tires on my car. What we got here? We got Scotch. Made in the USA with globally secured materials. You know what? I'm going to go with the made in the USA because, hey, you know what? That's the way I roll. So, all right, we're going to go with double-sided sticky tape on the back of the glass, the mirror that is, mounted vertically. And 3 strips ought to do it. 4 maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And up next, I need some clear silicone. I know I just got through removing a bunch of clear silicone, but, well, it does have its uses. All right, here's what we came up with. We're going to go with Advanced Silicone Clear by GE. Interesting. And what do we got here? Made in the good old USA. I like to see that. So I'm not going to buy a whole tube. I don't need a whole tube of this clear stuff. I don't use it very often. Once in a blue moon I might use some of it. So a small tube like this will do nicely for this small project. Alright, I decided to go with just 3 simple strips of that Scotch tape. That Scotch double-sided tape. Got 3 strips here, and I've got the strip pulled off of that one. And it's ready to go. So I'm going to pull these strips off these 2 and put this thing on the wall. I'm going to keep this simple. Reason being, I might have to remove it someday. And if I need to, I can come in, see what I'm going to do. The piece of trim that is attached here, I'm just going to silicone it to the wall. And if I need to remove it someday, I can quite easily. I can just squirt a little bit of that Goof-Off up in there and make the sealant release, and it'll come right off the wall. So sort of planning for future maintenance, really. Alright, I think this job might turn out to be a fair sight more simple than I originally thought. So we're just going to run a thin bead of the clear silicone sealant here behind the glass. And I think that will do it. Let's put our top back on. Went all the way to the store just for that little bit of sealant because I didn't have any. And the only purpose for that is to hold this little piece of trim. Normally this would be screwed to the wall, but in this case we're not going to do that. We're just going to glue it with a little bit. I know the wallpaper is coming off. I'm just not worried about that right now. Oh, man, look at that. How simple was that? There we go. It wasn't quite up there. Yeah. Well, all right, there you go. One mirror backsplash repaired. I'm digging that. So this piece of glass was basically sitting here, and it was glued to this ugly monstrosity. I'm like, why? Why did they do that? Well, the only thing I have to do now is get a little Windex out and polish up the glass. Let me do that real quick. All right, looking pretty good. Got a little soap and water out after the mirror there, and well, except for the rest of the countertop, it's a mess. Yeah, I had to get this mirror fixed, mostly because it was bugging me big time, but secondly, because Werner wants a tour of the RV, and I couldn't very well give a tour of the RV with the mirror being all messed up like that. So that's all for now. Appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video, don't forget to click that little bell down below. You guys have a good one, and remember to enjoy cleaning your motorhome.